the privilege of opening the hatch and floating out and holding on to the space station. You're going 17,500 miles an hour. You look around and it's the darkness of space, but the beautiful vehicle of the space station, and then 250 miles below your feet, oh, there goes Baja California. Or there goes, oh, I recognize that, that's Italy. And it's really an amazing environment to work in.
Have you always felt this passionate about space? Like when you were a student, did you already want to be an astronaut?
The answer is no, not at all. When I was, 8, 10, 12 years old, we were going to the moon. So the whole world was space crazy. And of course, I played astronaut, but I had no intention of going into space. The first job I got was with a space company, and I joined them because I wanted to design things, and they were a design company. My entry into space was really a lifestyle choice. I thought, well, I can do this for a while. And as my career progressed, opportunities came up to take more and more interesting jobs. And then all of a sudden, the astronaut thing came up, and I applied for it and got very lucky.
April 1996, you were selected by NASA to be an astronaut candidate.
Right.
How did you feel?
It was incredible. So I'll back up about 3 years before then. I sent my application to NASA, and my feelings about sending my application to NASA were just like yours if you buy a lottery ticket, which is, there's a big dream for a second, and then you put it in your pocket and you completely forget about it, and you think it's never going to happen. And it felt good that I was participating, that I was part of this. I'm going to try to be I'm going to try to be an astronaut, and then of course you get turned down. Yeah. And it was the third time that I got the shock of my life when they actually called me and said, hey, do you want to come for the astronaut interview? And so that changed everything. And that's when the whole thing started playing in my mind, like, wow, this would really be cool. And so I interviewed, and then it took months and months before they made a decision. So in April is when they made the phone calls, and the phone rang. It's a very traditional phone call in that they never say the word astronaut. All they say is, you want to come down and work for us? Oh. And so they go, yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And then you hang up and you go, I wonder what I just accepted.
Yeah, that sounds life-changing.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. It was a big deal.
Tell us what it's like to be out there in space.
Yeah, well, it's awesome. First of all, doing a spacewalk, the suit that you're in is bulky, heavy, and very uncomfortable. And so you're in that suit. For a real spacewalk, you're in that suit for almost 12 hours because you have to get in it. You've got to get your body prepared. It's a whole day. Even though if the spacewalk is 6 or 7 hours, you're in that suit for 10 or 12 hours. And that's painful. But the privilege of opening the hatch and floating out and holding on to the space station, you're going 17,500 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh.
You look around and it's the darkness of space, but the beautiful vehicle of the space station, the thing that's keeping you alive, is in your view. And then you look down at your feet, and then 250 miles below your feet, oh, there goes Baja California. Or there goes, oh, I recognize that, that's Italy. And it's really an amazing environment to work in. But, we're out there to build a space station or fix a space station. So our real focus is on, of course, doing the job. But there are moments where you're taking a break, and or your pal in the space station will say, hey, Dan, we're going to go right over Chicago. So take a break and take a look at Chicago. And fantastic, right? I get to watch Chicago pass by me as I'm working.
Okay, my last question for you. You spent many months on the International Space Station. That's a research station in low Earth orbit, and it's a joint project between the United States, Russia, Japan, Canada, and Europe. In an increasingly competitive environment, how important is that type of cooperation?
Well, it's huge. It has been an incredible example of how international cooperation on a project for good can survive all the political bumps and bruises that happen. And so this International Space Station will end in a few years, and I'm sad about that because of the station, but I'm also sad about that because now the leaders of these 11, 12 countries aren't going to be meeting as regularly about a particular thing. So I'm a little bit worried that that this symbol of diplomacy, that's the space station, might dissolve along with the station. So it has been fantastic for international cooperation and for all the astronauts and cosmonauts and astronauts from all the other countries to get to know each other on a level, on a working level, and you know, it only takes a couple days before all the boundaries of nationality fall apart, and we're just having fun as space flyers.
And there's a view of Dan leaving his home in space and headed back to the house.